Do you think this protest will actually make a difference?
Yes, yeah, because it's been great to see more and more companies come to join our ranks. You obviously, a lot of folks remember the internet blackout that happened because sites like Reddit and Wikipedia were protesting SOPA PIPA, and then the push for getting Title II classification of broadband a few years ago, which helped crystallize a lot of these net neutrality laws. Those happened because platforms and consumers basically had their voices heard, made phone calls. It seems very anachronistic, but calling up your senators or your representative is actually still one of the best ways to get your voice heard. And we now have an audience of hundreds of millions of people across these platforms who are now informed and are now going to be pushed to action. And while the FCC is not beholden to voters, because of course they're appointed by the president, our representatives, our congresspeople, our legislature is. And if we can show that this is an issue that is as bipartisan as we know it is, we can actually get those votes to actually crystallize some good legislation around this.
So we did speak to the FCC commissioner a few months ago who was appointed by President Trump, Ajit Pai. Take a listen to what he had to say about why he thinks this is important.
22 ISPs, small ones, told us just yesterday, Title II hangs over our businesses like a black cloud. And that's the kind of regulatory uncertainty and overreach that we want to remove, because every American deserves better, faster, and cheaper internet, and I'm committed to delivering it to them.
He also makes the argument that less regulation means more innovation, means that the future Facebooks and Googles and Netflixes of the world can grow and develop. How do you respond to that argument?
Well, I only know about it from the perspective of an entrepreneur. I think Chairman Pai is a lawyer. As an entrepreneur, I know that that level playing field that net neutrality ensures guarantees that innovation can thrive, right? At the end of the day, what we want is for the free market to pick winners and losers, not big cable. And net neutrality is what makes the difference between those two things.
So what if the rollback happens? What would the consequences be?
Well, it would only be the start of a conversation that I know America would need to have with their elected officials. But what we could expect is the kind of things that unfortunately won't surprise many people who've dealt with their ISPs before, and that's increased rates. You can imagine an internet that starts to look a lot like your cable television, where you get like a default internet package that may have some news websites you like and some social networking sites you like, but the ones you really love actually have to cost more. And a tiered internet is just, it's fundamentally broken. It's actually pretty offensive an idea to most Americans who want to get access to the websites they want to access, and to so many entrepreneurs who want to know they can start a business and win because they've made something people want, and not lose simply because an incumbent's brokered a deal with one of a handful of ISPs.